Game 1 of the round robin here on August 3rd. So these are my game reactions. Okay, so they've got Sonia Bryson singing the national anthems, including O Canada, which I don't think I've ever heard her sing before. So that's something new. I also see Hedman's back, fantastic, but still no Stamkos. They're still holding him in reserve, I guess, our secret weapon. As far as Hedman being on personal business, rumor has it he was getting a tattoo. So leave in the comments what kind of tattoo you think he was trying to get. Okay, so period 1 starts, and early game was kind of a blasé back and forth. Both teams just kind of testing each other out, going back and forth up the ice. But then the new triplets line comes out. This is Brayden Point, Nikita Kucherov, and Andrei Vasilevskiy, and they really show who's boss. Our new triplets line, really just ran all over the Capitals. Capitals really couldn't keep up. And holy cow, I mean, Point, he did some maneuvering in the offensive zone. I mean, what a boss. I learned from the announcers that the Caps were missing their high-scoring defenseman, John Carlson. So we didn't get to see him in the game. Mitchell Stevens in the first period was looking kind of lost along the boards, honestly. So I didn't know what to expect as the game progressed. Pat Maroon really doing his thing behind Holtby, behind the net. In the cap zone, moving the puck, but no one was open in front for the feed. I have a feeling either Paquette or Mitchell Stevens was supposed to be there. And later on, did I see Kucherov actually hold the puck and look around before making a pass? That's a change, and that's going to help us in the playoffs. Next, I see. The Caps are now putting their top line with Ovechkin against our new triplets to try to contain them, and it seems to be effective. New triplets kind of quieted down after that. But then Brayden Point steals, dekes, and then passes to Cooch, who scores for our first goal. That's right. Top far corner of the net. I mean, Cooch made this beautiful shot left to right and just snaps it right in that top right corner. Hope he didn't have a chance. Just really an amazing shot. The announcers, I learned from the announcers that the stats for the round robin games are going to count for playoff stats. So these guys have something to play for now, not just round robin determined position. I was curious, were the guys going to take it that seriously for placement, or did they not really care? But what I'm seeing is these guys are playing to win out there. Cirelli went for the check on Ovechkin, but bounced off him like he was an inflatable jump castle. Then Johnson and Wilson get roughing penalties. I had to step away for a moment. I couldn't see what went down, but it ended up with the Bolts on the penalty kill, 4-on-3, with Sergei serving an extra penalty. Kovalchuk on the power play for the Caps. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Richard Panik for the Caps, really working the puck well against Hedman in our D zone, and this guy is looking really good. I'm really glad Vasi is in net. That's all I have to say. Also noticed on the boards, no Go Bolt plexiglass panel, so that must have been exhibition game only. Didn't see it here in the round robin game. And that was the end of the first period. Bolts are up 1-0. Moving into the second period. Right away, Wilson versus Cernak. Yup, I'm pretty sure I called this in my last video. Cernak was standing up for McDonough, who got bowled over by Wilson, and Cernak almost had him dumped over our boards, right on our bench, before the refs broke it up. So that was kind of funny to see. Wilson was almost upside down. I noticed the ice looks really rough. This puck is bouncing and skipping all over the place. It's making it really tough for both teams to collect the puck and work with it. Mitchell Stevens then grinds the Caps D behind their net, causing a turnover, and then finds his spot in front of Holtby and gets his stick down for the redirect. Goal number 2. Go Bolts. So Mitchell learns his lesson. He got lost in the first period. Second period, he found his home right in front of the net. Then Oshie tries fighting Gord, wants to try that out, and he gets an uppercut to his face. Then McDonough lays out Wilson in the Caps D zone and then keeps the play alive. He's looking like a stud. Paquette is skating around like a heat-seeking missile, and he's going hit after hit. I don't know how he stays on for his full shift. I mean, I'm seeing him skate hard, turn the puck over, hit somebody. Skate hard, turn the puck over, hit somebody. Over and over. He does it like 3-4 times on a shift. It's impressive. Hathaway and the Caps doing a good job of being a menace to our D and ends up drawing a penalty. This leads to a Caps power play, and they score a goal. It's a second puck that just kind of leaked through Vasilevskiy's legs, and Kuznetsov comes out of nowhere, taps it in, and 2-2 tie. The Caps really outplayed us late in the second. Our D was really scrambling to get back into position, arms flailing. Like, you know our guys are struggling when they're just looking up and just trying to hustle blindly toward where they think the puck is. It was kind of ugly. Luckily, the Bolts get saved by the buzzer. Second period ends. It's 2-2 tie at this point. The announcers declare 65 hits in the game so far, according to Andreychuk, sitting in an empty Amalie Arena. So we move on to the third period, and this is the final period where we need to see our boys show resilience and veterancy. If they're going to win this cup, this third period is kind of a little mini test of what they need to do for the rest of these playoff games. The Caps team is packed with legends. I mean, they're so good. I mean, you just name off and rattle off the names of the Caps roster, and there's so many good players on here. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, third period, let's go. Cirelli tries another hit on Ovechkin and bounces off again. The Caps are really pressing our boys hard and got a flurry of shots off early, and we need quicker line changes. That's what I'm seeing out there. Our guys are getting tired, and that's why they're flailing around again, just like the end of the second. The puck almost goes in under Vasilevskiy again, but Pat Maroon, former Stanley Cup winner last year, makes the stop with his stick behind Vasilevskiy because that puck was sliding its way into the net. And Maroon, man, quick decision, gets his stick back there, and we get the whistle. No goal. Going the other way, Mitchell Stevens gets another couple looks at the net. He's really displaying some good speed and good offensive positioning now later in the game. We need our Bolts to connect their passes, though, and be available to the puck carrier. I'm really seeing the Capitals settling down the game for themselves, but creating a lot of urgency and rushed plays by the Bolts when the Bolts get the puck. Caps Kuznetsov just skates right through on our entire team and shoots at Vasilevskiy's face. Our D is really lackluster at this point. We're kind of midway in the third. Thank goodness Vasilevskiy's in net, really. The Bolts get some energy, though, off Coleman getting penalized behind the Caps net and the refs not blowing a whistle, and that led to some offense by the Bolts. Then Oshie gets sandwiched between Paquette and Maroon and loses his helmet. Now he looks around to see who hit him and sees Pat Maroon there and decides to just skate away. Smart decision. Next, Kuznetsov almost connects with Ovechkin for a redirect goal, but Vasilevskiy makes the save. Vasilevskiy really stepping up here. The Caps continuing to dominate, though, in this third period, shot after shot. Point, Kuch, Palat, still trying to win. When their line goes out there, it changes. The whole momentum changes like on its face. But the Caps are doing a much better job of shutting them down, not giving them a lot of space. Coleman doing a good job of following through with his hits. He's kind of like Paquette Jr. out there. He's always following through. He makes a good play. He's a real smooth operator, as I may have said before. Real smooth, but then he always finishes that hit on the boards, and whoever the Caps guy is, it's getting crushed by him. He feels it, trust me. Finally, end of regulation. It's a 2-2 tie ending the third period. Wilson is not a fan of Doc Talk with Killer, tries to punch him in the face. Cirelli jumps into Wilson's face, but no fight ends up happening, just a lot of mouthing and, clawing at each other. So we move on to a 3-on-3 sudden death overtime. So usually this is advantage Lightning, because let's face it, our guys are fast, awesome puck handlers, and great shots, and they usually make the other team dizzy. But what I've been seeing is this elite Caps team doing the same to us. So we're going to have to see how the Lightning can contain these Caps when they've been doing such a good job of moving right through our team 5-on-5. Okay, 3-on-3 overtime starts off. Ovechkin makes a move on Point, breaks free and almost scores on Vasilevskiy. Gord on our blue line makes a mistake, and I almost pulled my hat off and threw it on the ground because it gave the Caps a breakaway. Vrana, man, he comes in, but Vasilevskiy makes the clutch save. Vasilevskiy saving us. McDonough then looking like a stud on defense, then turns around and looks like a stud on offense. We don't manage to turn the goal around yet or get a goal. Then Tyler Johnson just displaying a burst of speed, and he gets a great scoring attempt. But Holtby makes a save there. Holtby is looking a little shaky in this overtime. The pucks are coming in, but he's not really displaying good puck control. He's just doing what he can to redirect and let that puck bounce away or what have you. Kuch then holds the stick. He's basically standing in front of Vasilevskiy, or in front of Holtby, and he holds the stick of one of the Caps and gets a penalty with 8 seconds left to go in this overtime period. The refs had let a lot go so far. There were a number of penalties, probably both ways, and they didn't blow the whistle. I mean, they did blow it on the Lightning a few times, obviously. Lightning have not had a power play this whole game. But here we go. Another little power play for the last 8 seconds. Mitchell Studley Stevens takes the face-off, moves the puck to the boards, collects it, and clears it out to close out the overtime and saves the day. Time for the shootout and maybe a Kuch special. We'll see. So it's now overtime shootout. Hedman goes first, but Holtby makes the save. The guys calling the game kind of were unhappy with Hedman. He just kind of skated up and took a shot, didn't do any fancy moves. But you know what? That's what Hedman does. And Holtby's a good goalie, so I'm not going to fault Hedman too much. I think he did his thing. It got saved. Oshie was up next, and Karam's right up to Vasilevskiy. Does a little left-right, but unfortunately easily lifts it over Vasilevskiy's leg for a goal. Caps lead 1-0 in this overtime period. Then Point goes out and, true to his name, delivers a goal. Solid. I mean, if you want to score a point in overtime, put Brayden Point out there. He puts the puck in the net in overtime. Up next, Kuznetsov, which makes me a little nervous, I'll be honest with you. So Kuznetsov is up next. He's a really good player, and he skates well and creates scoring opportunities for himself. So he's up, and he makes one move too many, though, and does not score. Really doesn't get the shot away. Next up, Kucherov. So let's see. Is he going to do the little sneaky Holtby special? And he goes up, though. He doesn't do that, but he does make it look easy and shoots right under Holtby's glove for a beautiful goal. Backstrom is up next. It's now tied. So Backstrom's up next, and yes, Vasilevskiy makes the save and earns the Bolts' first win here in these round robins, 3-2. Bolts win! All right, guys, we'll see you next game, which is Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll see you then.